This is our home!
I need you with me.
Buckle up, because we're diving into an epic lineup of films set to light up the big screen in 2025 and 2026. Whether you're nostalgic for Disney classics, hungry for high-stakes action, or craving some fresh twists in the horror genre, there's something for everyone. From Disney giving us a fresh look at a timeless tale with their new Snow White remake, to the adrenaline rush of The Accountant 2, fans of action won't want to miss Mission Impossible 8. After the jaw-dropping cliffhanger of the previous film, Ethan Hunt is back in action, racing against time with his team to confront a rogue AI. The stakes have never been higher, and the excitement is off the charts. So, whether you're nostalgic, thrilled, or just plain curious, these upcoming movies are set to deliver excitement and entertainment. Get ready to mark your calendars and dive into a world of these cinematic adventures. Avatar: Fire and Ash, December 19, 2025. Avatar: Fire and Ash, the third film in James Cameron's epic Avatar saga. After the massive success of Avatar: The Way of Water, fans are eagerly waiting for the next chapter, and there's plenty to be excited about. First off, let's talk about the title reveal. At the 2024 D23 Fan Expo, James Cameron officially announced that the next film will be called Avatar: Fire and Ash. The name hints at a fiery new Na'vi tribe living in Pandora's volcanic regions, which is bound to add a whole new layer to the story. With Pandora's lush landscapes and underwater worlds already stunning viewers, the Fire Tribe promises to bring some scorching new visuals. Now, onto the release date. Originally slated for December 2024, Fire and Ash has been pushed to December 19, 2025. Yeah, it's a bit of a wait, but with the production hurdles over the past few years, thanks to the pandemic and Hollywood strikes, it's a good sign that the film is still on track. Fingers crossed the extra time means even more jaw-dropping effects and epic moments. Speaking of the cast, Fire and Ash will see some familiar faces and a bunch of new ones. Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana are back as Jake and Neytiri, of course, but we're also getting new characters played by some impressive actors. Una Chaplin will be introducing us to Varang, the leader of the Fire Tribe, while David Thewlis joins the cast as Palak. With these additions, it looks like the film is stacking up on talent. So what's the story going to be about? The Way of Water left us hanging with a few open threads, especially with Colonel Quaritch still out for revenge. Expect tensions between the Na'vi and the RDA to escalate, and we might see some serious showdowns. Plus, the film is set to introduce two new Na'vi clans, including that mysterious Fire Tribe. Loak will be narrating this time around, giving us a fresh perspective on the unfolding drama. There's also some intriguing stuff hinted at in the bonus features of the previous film. Kiri will delve deeper into her mother's past and Pandora's mysteries, while Spider seems to have a new ability to breathe Pandora's air thanks to Kiri's unique powers. Things are definitely heating up, both literally and figuratively. Tron Aries, October 10, 2025. Tron Aries, the highly anticipated third installment in the Tron franchise. If you've been following the ups and downs of this movie's production, you know it's been a wild ride, but it looks like things are finally moving forward. So let's kick things off with some history. The Tron series started way back in 1982 with a groundbreaking film that introduced us to The Grid, a virtual reality world where computer programs have personalities and agendas. Then, almost 3 decades later, we got Tron Legacy in 2010, which took things to the next level with stunning visuals, epic light cycle battles, and an unforgettable Daft Punk soundtrack. But despite its cool factor, Legacy didn't quite hit the mark for everyone, and the idea of a third movie has been bouncing around ever since. Now, after years of waiting, Tron Aries is finally happening. Filming started in early 2024, and just recently, the director Joachim Ronning announced that they wrapped up shooting in May. It's a huge relief for fans, especially since this movie has been stuck in development hell for what feels like forever. The good news is that Tron Aries is set to hit theaters on October 10, 2025. It's still a bit of a wait, but at least we know it's on its way. Minecraft, April 4, 2025. If you're a fan of the game or just curious about how this beloved blocky world will translate to the big screen, you're in for a treat. Let's start with some background. Minecraft isn't just any video game, it's the best-selling game in history, with millions of players around the world, building, exploring, and battling in their unique, blocky worlds. The game's incredible success and huge fan base make it a prime candidate for a blockbuster movie, and Warner Bros. Seems to be betting big on it. With the right execution, the Minecraft movie could easily become one of the highest-grossing films of the decade. The movie has been a long time coming. Production first kicked off back in 2014, but over the years, it's seen its fair share of delays and changes. But as of now, things are finally on track, with the movie slated for release on April 4th, 2025. The production faced a hiccup with the SAG-AFTRA strike, but now that it's resolved, filming wrapped up in New Zealand earlier this year, so we're officially in the final stretch. Now let's talk about the cast, because this lineup is pretty exciting. Leading the pack is Jason Momoa. He's been everywhere lately, from Aquaman to Fast X, and now he's stepping into the Minecraft universe. While we still don't know exactly who he'll be playing, his involvement alone is enough to get people talking. Joining him is Emma Myers, who's been making waves with her role in Netflix's Wednesday. And perhaps most exciting for longtime Minecraft fans is the news that Jack Black will be playing Steve, the iconic character from the game. Jack Black's humor and energy seem like a perfect fit for this role, and it's going to be fascinating to see how he brings Steve to life. As for the story, well, that's still under wraps. What we do know is that previous scripts have centered around a group of friends who must save their overworld from the fearsome Ender Dragon. Whether this plotline will stick or if we'll see something entirely new remains to be seen. Given Minecraft's open-ended nature, the possibilities are endless. Will it be a straight-up adventure, a mix of action and comedy, or something completely unexpected? We'll just have to wait and see. One thing's for sure, this movie has the potential to be one of the most ambitious video game adaptations ever. With Minecraft's massive world and the creativity it inspires, the filmmakers have a lot of material to work with, and with a cast like this, expectations are sky high. Snow White, March 21st, 2025. First off, if you're a fan of Disney, you know that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a big deal. It's the film that started it all back in 1937, so remaking it is no small feat. The original is iconic, and living up to that legacy, well, it's definitely going to be a challenge. Let's talk about what we know so far. Disney has been giving us sneak peeks through trailers and teasers. The latest trailer, shown at Disney's 2024 D23 Expo, gives us a glimpse of what to expect. Gal Gadot, who many of you might know as Wonder Woman, is playing the evil queen. This should be fun because Gadot is bringing a new spin to the role. She's even altered her voice for the character, which sounds pretty intriguing. Then there's Andrew Burnap as Jonathan, a new character described as Robin Hood-esque. It's going to be interesting to see how he fits into the story alongside Snow White. One of the biggest updates is how the story is being reworked. The new Snow White won't just be waiting around for a prince's kiss to save her. Instead, she'll be fighting alongside Jonathan and taking a more active role in her own story. This modern twist is meant to give Snow White more agency and break away from some old fairy tale tropes. While some fans are all for this update, others are concerned that it might stray too far from what made the original Snow White special. The film has also faced some criticism, especially regarding the casting of the Seven Dwarfs. The latest adaptation is going to feature actors of various genders and ethnic backgrounds in these roles, which has sparked a lot of discussion. Disney has acknowledged past criticisms of how dwarfism was portrayed in their films, so this change is part of their effort to address those issues. Despite all the buzz and controversy, one thing's for sure, Disney's Snow White remake is generating a lot of excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan of the original or just curious about the new take, the film is definitely on the radar for 2025. The release date is set for March 21st, so mark your calendars. The Accountant 2, April 25, 2025. If you love the first movie, you're probably just as pumped as I am for the sequel. So let's break down what we know so far about this highly anticipated follow-up. First up, if you're not familiar, The Accountant was a massive hit when it dropped in 2016. It starred Ben Affleck as Christian Wolf, a brilliant but socially awkward forensic accountant with a knack for money laundering and a secret life as a vigilante. His performance, along with John Bernthal's role as his brother Braxton, really stole the show. Fans were left on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting a continuation of this thrilling story. As for the release date, mark your calendars for April 25, 2025. It's been a bit of a wait since the original came out almost a decade ago, but from what we're hearing, it's going to be worth it. Filming wrapped recently, and things are starting to heat up as we get closer to the release. We don't have all the details yet, especially about the new faces joining the cast. Daniela Pineda, Robert Morgan, and Grant Harvey are all set to appear, but their roles are still unknown. It'll be interesting to see how they fit into the story and what new dynamics they'll bring to the table. One of the biggest questions is about the plot. We know that the sequel will dive deeper into the relationship between Christian and Braxton Wolf, exploring the fallout from the first film's ending. Mission Impossible 8, May 23, 2025. First off, if you're a fan of the Mission Impossible series, you know that this franchise never fails to deliver jaw-dropping action and mind-bending twists. The last film, Dead Reckoning Part 1, ended with a massive cliffhanger, setting up Mission Impossible 8 to be one of the most anticipated entries in the series. Ethan Hunt and his team are in a precarious position, and fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see how this saga wraps up. The release date for Mission Impossible 8 has been pushed to May 23, 2025. It was originally scheduled for June 2024, but production delays have moved it almost a year back. Despite these setbacks, the film is confirmed and production is still in full swing. Tom Cruise will once again reprise his role as the indomitable Ethan Hunt, and Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, and Vanessa Kirby are also back. It's great to see the familiar faces returning for what promises to be an epic conclusion. Overall, Mission Impossible 8 is shaping up to be an explosive finale to this chapter of the franchise. With Tom Cruise and the gang back in action and the stakes higher than ever, it's definitely one to watch for in 2025. Nobody 2, August 15, 2025. First things first, let's talk about the release date. Nobody 2 is set to hit theaters on August 15, 2025. That's a bit of a wait, but given the success of the original and the excitement surrounding the sequel, it's definitely worth it. The first film hit theaters on March 25, 2021, so it'll be a bit over 4 years since we last saw Hutch Manziel kick some serious butt. Speaking of Hutch Manziel, Bob Odenkirk is back as our everyman-turned-action hero. The first film showed us that Odenkirk is more than capable of holding his own in the action genre, and it looks like he's ready to dive back into the role with even more intensity this time around. Connie Nielsen will also return as Becca, and Christopher Lloyd is back as David Manziel. It's great to see familiar faces returning to build on the strong foundation laid by the first movie. In terms of the story, we don't have a ton of specifics yet, but there are some intriguing hints. The end of the first Nobody film left us with a tantalizing postscript that teased future conflicts and hinted at deeper layers of Hutch's backstory. Connie Nielsen's comments suggest that the sequel will delve more into Hutch's family dynamics and how his past could impact his current life. This adds a personal stake to the action, making the stakes feel even higher. The sequel is expected to up the ante with even more action-packed sequences and stunning visuals, following in the footsteps of its predecessor. We can likely expect the same high-octane thrills that made the first movie so memorable, along with some new twists and turns that will keep us on the edge of our seats. Shrek 5, July 1st, 2026. Shrek 5 is officially in the works. After more than a decade since the last installment, the beloved franchise is making a grand return, and here's what we know so far. First up, mark your calendars for July 1st, 2026. That's when Shrek 5 is set to hit theaters. It's shaping up to be a major summer blockbuster, and fans are eagerly awaiting this long-overdue sequel. DreamWorks Animation recently confirmed the release date and also shared that the original cast will be back. Mike Myers will reprise his role as Shrek, Eddie Murphy is Donkey, and Cameron Diaz will be Princess Fiona. It's fantastic to see the original trio back together, especially since Diaz had previously retired from acting. The excitement doesn't stop there. We've also learned that there's a Donkey spin-off in the works, which means more of Eddie Murphy's charismatic character is on the horizon. As for Shrek 5, there's a lot of buzz about potential new characters and storylines. The sequel will likely explore new adventures and deeper family dynamics, especially since Shrek and Fiona's children will be older teens by the time of this movie. This opens up a lot of narrative possibilities. Imagine Shrek trying to connect with a new generation of fairy tale characters. In recent updates, it's been confirmed that Shrek 5 will be a reinvention of the series. This means we can expect some fresh takes on the beloved franchise while still retaining the charm and humor that made the original film so special. Plus, with a talented team working on the screenplay, including some big names, the new film promises to deliver the magic fans have been missing. With the original cast returning, along with the exciting possibility of a donkey spin-off, Shrek 5 is poised to be a major event in the world of animation. Soulmate, January 2nd, 2026. The Megan universe is expanding with a brand new spin-off titled Soulmate, and it's already generating some serious buzz. Here's a rundown of everything you need to know about the upcoming techno-horror thriller. Soulmate is set to hit theaters on January 2nd, 2026. Though that's quite a bit away, it's exciting to see that Blumhouse is already moving forward with this project. The release date could shift depending on production progress or competition, but for now, this is when we can expect to see it. This film boasts an impressive lineup of talent. Blumhouse Productions, known for hits like The Purge and Get Out, is producing the film, with James Wan, creator of the Saw and Conjuring franchises, co-producing through his Atomic Monster label. Wan's involvement promises a blend of psychological horror and cutting-edge thrills. Toy Story 5, 2026. This upcoming installment, set to release in 2026, has already got fans buzzing with excitement and a bit of curiosity about where the story will take our favorite toys next. Now, if you're like many fans, you probably thought Toy Story 4 was the perfect conclusion. Woody said goodbye to Buzz and the gang, choosing a new life as a lost toy with Bo Peep, while Buzz stayed with Bonnie and continued his life with the rest of the toys. It felt like the end of an era, a bittersweet but fitting farewell. So what's left to explore in Toy Story 5? Well, thanks to Disney's D23 Fan Expo in August 2024, we've got some hints. The first concept art still from the movie shows Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the crew looking on as their new owner seems more interested in a tablet than in playing with them. This sets up what's likely to be a central conflict in the film, the clash between old-school toys and modern technology. It's a theme that feels very relevant in today's world, where kids are more likely to be glued to screens than playing with physical toys. How will Woody and the gang adapt to this new challenge? That's the big question Toy Story 5 aims to answer. As for the release date, mark your calendars for June 19th, 2026. That might feel like a long wait, but given Pixar's track record, it's safe to say the wait will be worth it. And that's a wrap on our look at the must-see movies of 2025 and 2026. From magical reimaginings and action-packed sequels to thrilling new horrors and family favorites, there's no shortage of exciting films on the horizon. Stay tuned and get ready to experience all the cinematic magic coming your way.